she told me that she loved me, and she gave me my money back.
Good evening, Tenno. We have Lihim here. I'm going to be your host for tonight. We're going to be doing a little bit of Orb Vallis Survival, in case you're not aware of what that is. It's just a Torroid form, but it's above ground to maximize the difficulty of the enemies, actually get some challenge out of this cakewalk of a game. Not that it's always a cakewalk, but most often it is. And I'm actually going to be joined tonight by two other Tenno. Some I was able to snatch in chat. But let me just do a little housekeeping here. Let me minimize the quote, well, vanish the quotes window for now. I'm going to unmute Warframe in the sound mixer. Close that window. Making sure my mic is working. My music is definitely working because I hear it. I definitely hear it. And I'm going to get the stats window going. And what else? Also going to get the quote window in its own projector window, so I can read that during the stream if need be. And there we go. Alright, so it looks like I can minimize OBS right now. And yeah, we're just waiting on someone. And let me just turn down the music a little bit here. This will come more into play once we're ripping it up in combat here. Alright, there we go. I can barely hear myself talking. That's why I was kind of yelling. And yeah, so Orb Vallis Survival. Now, if you're a longtime Warframe player or just new, basically if you're not terribly acquainted with the game, every mode in this game, in the game of Warframe, it has some kind of condition attached to it. There's not an actual pure survival, pure horde mode. Like, I think one of the games that first used the term horde mode is Gears of War. What was just you versus waves of enemies, and that's fucking it. Warframe does not actually have a true mode like that, except kinda in Orb Vallis. Hey, I'm just let me try to talk to the team here. Can you guys actually hear me now? False Cape and Homicidal Thor. I don't know if they hear me. Sometimes I actually have to join a mission, and then they can hear me. So let me just do a little talk with them. I let them know like an hour and a half beforehand, so they should be ready, but you know, sometimes when last minute changes to the gear and loadout, I just want to make sure they're good. I let them know they are being streamed, so hopefully they're not too too shy about their, hey, Homicidal Thor! I guess you're the same Homicidal Thor that is in my squad. Alright. Glad to see you. Welcome to the She Collective, man. I'm glad, I'm grateful for the follow. Hopefully you have a good time tonight and I don't let you down. Homicidal Thor, it's whatever you want to play, man. I'm not enforcing some kind of meta. It's whatever you feel good playing. We're going to be going the distance, so it's something that you feel comfortable with. And preferably something that doesn't have a lot of AoE, because we don't want to destroy the beacons. Alright, well, I'm going to start the mission. I'm going to queue up Orb Vallis. Now that's not Lua. We're going to, yeah, Orb Vallis. Alright, and so yeah. So Orb Vallis Survival, as I said, every other mode in this game of Warframe, every other mission type, everything, it has some kind of condition you have to meet. You have to defend the pod, you have to do an interception terminal. For survival, you have to do life support via oxygen, which is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of in a game, if you really dig into how that works. But this, if you get all 4 beacons going, the enemies keep coming after you, and they keep escalating in level. And the only thing you have to worry about as a Tenno is actually your survival. And once we get into Orb Vallis, they should be able to hear me. I want to try to minimize the chat window, though, once we get going. Alright, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, nice, nice. Who am I speaking to, by the way?
This is Thor right here.
Oh, what's up, Thor?
What's up, dude?
Alright, so the landmark that I found to be most conducive to what we're doing is the, not the enrichment slabs, but I believe the spaceport. I didn't even land yet, and I see shit exploding from you guys. That's awesome. Alright, I also, to maximize the drops from this, I brought my drop cat. Kate She. Also matches Lihim She, coincidentally. And I brought a resource booster, because I really want to get these Torroids done. Little Duck is the only thing, one of the few things I have left to do in Warframe. It's one of the few things I have left to do. And it's going to take a while for the enemies to actually get spiced up and level up to really be like a good challenge, but it's going to get there. It's going to get there. I have Orb Vallis Survival 1 video up to prove that. As long as we get the 4 beacons going, it's going to get nice and spicy. I just hope that last time I played, my mic was oh, CJ Plays on YouTube. What's up, man? Where did you go this morning? I was looking for you to squad up for the division. I didn't see you around. You vanished. I just imagined some IRL stuff came up. Oh, there we go. I forgot. Yeah, they had casting in the air implemented in a lot of these abilities, and if it's like has to be on the ground ability, it just accelerates like it does like a down attack. There we go. Also, I hope I'm not hot micing for you guys. I have press to speak enabled, but one of the missions I ran. You guys can hear me right now. It's not intentional. All right, I'm not getting any response, so I think we're good. So I definitely want to flap my gums for the stream, but not so much to my team as they're worrying about doing other things. Homicidal Thor, he just responded to a message in regional. I was like looking for endurance players / tryhards. He's like, sup. I told him what I'm trying to do, and he seemed pretty helpful. He's like, hey, I'd like to help out. You tell me what you need. So I'm definitely glad. And False Cape, I met on Reddit. I actually started a thread on how ridiculous life support is in Warframe, like how it doesn't make any sense. And he's actually one of the few people that understood what that entailed. Like, I was surprised I was having such a hard time explaining to people like how much nonsense that made, but he actually got it. I added it. I asked him to add me, and here we are playing together. So anyway, between my cat, between Pilfering Dome, between all this stuff, and the resource booster I just got, I'm hoping we get some Torroid drops like crazy in here. And what is this thing? Is this like... I was gonna say, I hope it's not invincible, but it looks like we're good. Alright, we got a beacon right in the middle of everything here. Okay, in case you're new to the stream, one of the things I like to do is I like to talk about design principles, both from game designers and just designers in general, and try to apply them to the game I'm playing. Now, this happens to fall apart when the game I'm playing gets particularly difficult. I really don't have time to be reading stuff. I can barely multitask between the game and viewers, but viewers, of course, always come first because that's like the whole reason I'm streaming. So, kind of has to take a priority killer. Everything else, though, is secondary to the viewers and the game I'm playing. Oh, there we go. We got a Torroid. We got 2 of them. Yeah, I got double cats going on here. All right, we got 4 beacons going. Oh yeah, we have those these turrets. I don't see. All right, yeah. I think they actually respawn after a certain amount of time, but good to take them out regardless. Now let me get rid of this. They actually might be killing them faster than they could spawn here. Yeah, I decided to bring the Rubico because I brought a wide assortment of weapons and they simply weren't doing enough damage. Like, when these guys actually get like at a decently high level, they just were not doing enough damage. So I just brought the Rubico. I figure if it's good enough for Eidolons, it's good enough for Rinkadink Porpoise, you know? I didn't even know if they had enough time to get pilfered by the dome, to be honest with you. Or was that it right there? Or is I don't know if that was Necros or the dome. Ooh, what was that? What was that? Oh, I just killed that guy in his buttock. That was pretty embarrassing. That's pretty embarrassing. I should get some energy refill going on here before it gets too late. Or it becomes too late. But yeah, it looks like now would be a time to start doing those quotes here. Not after a pilfering dome, of course. Make sure I gotta get that going. So I'll go to Kid Avoid mode. Go and chat to freeze him into void mode. And I'm gonna make these quotes visible again. Alright. Minimize OBS once more. Go back to Warframe. Minimize this chat window. Oh, Homicidal Thor, I just saw your message in game. Thanks for the heads up, bud. Oh, I forgot to turn off the music in the game, too. Oh, I'm just like the world's worst streamer. Alright, void mode again. Options. Audio, music volume, and transmissions volume, because I do not want to hear my freaking operator or anything else. Alright, there we go. So unprofessional, not prepared at all. I might get banned, because that's how bad I am. Anyway. Oh, there we go! How does... Wow, I didn't even get to cast a snare on him, because he was dead already. I never really ran into this situation where we were killing enemies this fast. I know when I solo this is a whole other fucking ballpark here. Alright, we have these guys coming from the beacon soon. Oh, we have some mobs up here. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, we're the Fantastic Four, dude. Yeah. Yeah, man, these guys, I didn't account for the fact that we may be just killing the enemies way too fast. Not that I'm going to tell us to slow down, but it's a different ball game. I come in here solo most of the time. I don't even bother trying to recruit people, but I was like, you know what, tonight I want to. But yeah, we're doing pretty good here. I don't know what we can do to increase the spawn rate, though. Oh, wait, there they are shooting me. I'm talking about there's no enemies, and they're shooting me in my ass. All right, so we got principal here from Jesse Shell. He is a renowned game designer. He probably hasn't made any games that anyone's ever heard of, or at least I don't think, but he's actually kind of respected in the game design community and kind of inspiration behind the whole me putting design lenses or design principles to talk about on stream. Now his book, it's Art of Game Design, a book of lenses, is actually made. It's designed to be made. I can't remember how to talk here. I'm like, I gotta go revive Fallscape. All right, there we go. The book is actually meant to be used by game designers while they're making a game. And the ideal is it will make the game better if the game designers in question address the series of questions called lenses. They either address the answers in-game or address the questions in-game with like actual game solutions, or they at least acknowledge that there are issues, questions worth being asked. Now, since I didn't make Warframe, you know, it's a little bit different. I'm a fan playing the game, trying his best to apply what he knows to the game. But there still could be insight and some learning to be had. At least it promotes discussion. That's the main thing, though. But I found, like, when I started streaming, I'm not really good at filling empty space with just random thoughts. You know, I'm near 40 years old. I've been gaming for about 30 years, right? And whenever I've been gaming for these past 30 years, I shut the fuck up. I don't talk. I don't say anything. I'm not trying to tell people about my day. But I want to stream, right? So there's a conflict of interest there. Homicidal Thor. Oh, yeah, Homicidal Thor. Definitely left the ship drops. I didn't even realize they were coming in. So, what was I saying? Yeah, like, so I have these game design lenses and principles and quotes up to promote discussion, and at the very least, it just keeps me talking. So anyway, with that all out of the way, we have lens number 6, the lens of problem solving. First question: what problems does a game ask to be solved? I would say there's actually two parts of this game. There is the PvE side, and there is the PvE side. And ultimately, these two aspects, while they definitely both take knowledge and skill, the PvE side is mostly a knowledge-based game. If you know what build to bring for a certain situation, then your success at that, it's mostly assured. As long as you have some idea what you're doing. If you're not walking around playing this game like the worst Call of Duty player ever, if you're aware that you're a space ninja that has parkour, you can use it, you're going to do pretty good. So the PvE side is asking you to solve the problem of what build is best at what, or what build allows you to have success at what. The PvP side, however, it is an extremely high ceiling, skill ceiling game. The skill ceiling on it is like, it's kind of ridiculous, and I don't say that in a bad way. I really respect the really good Conclave. Well, anyone that plays Conclave, to be honest with you. But the high-level Conclave play, it is fucking something to behold. Like, I haven't seen gameplay in Conclave since Guns the Duel. For those of you that don't know what the fuck that game is, it's oldie. Oldie but goodie. Yeah, in that game, it's not so much about your build, because a lot of the things are normalized or equalized, whatever you want to call it. Whoa, that guy just looked like he did a bullet jump there. Holy shit. But yeah, that side of the game demands you be very skilled. That's the problem, figuring out your dexterity and positioning issues. Second question is, are there hidden problems to solve? I would say so. I don't think it's so much by design. I mean, I think some of the shit's like kind of hidden in game by DE, but mostly Warframe's new user experience is actually so awful that becomes kind of like a hidden problem to solve for new players, which they necessarily shouldn't have to solve, but that's what happens. Alright, I'm trying to see if there's an enemy here. Alright, so they are increasing the level. Alright, I see the issue here. I see the issue here. Homicidal Thor says, on Twitch says, oh my god, yes, I hate what newbies have to go through. It's so terrible. Yeah, man, the new player experience is absolutely awful, man. They need someone that is... Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. They're already dead. They're already dead. The Jackal's already dead. These things are getting slaughtered. Alright, I have a theory here. I have a theory. I think I have to go to kid mode here. Now, I'm not 100% on this, but I think we would get more spawns if the beacons were actually in the middle, towards the middle more. So if we hang out near the edge, they will tend to place beacons up there. Not 100%, but that's my theory right now. Although I've gotten more Torroids in the few minutes we've been playing so far than I did like almost the entire time I was playing this spot of the map the other day. I was playing it for like, I don't know, 3 hours, something like that? 2.5 hours? Okay, and we got a new lens. We got a new quote here. Well, not a lens, it's a quote. It's from Mark Rosewater. He's from Magic the Gathering. Oh shit, I might die here. Shit is getting crazy, son. Alright, now we're getting that little bit of spicy meatball action. It's going on now. I always want to find re-room. Re-room. I always want to find a room for the reload mod. I just combined two thoughts into one. That's why I got the re-room. Alright, so this quote from Mark Rosewater. This is, design the component its intended audience. Did I even say that right? Design the component for its intended audience. Okay. So, there's something to be said, like, you know what your audience wants, you know what they expect, and you want to give them something unexpected sometimes, right? But even if it's something unexpected, you kind of want to keep in mind who your audience actually is. Homicidal Thor on Twitch, we said, well, he said, I can keep you alive, watch your HP bar, when it turns gray, you're invulnerable. Okay, gotcha. I can't promise I'll be staying still for too long to let that happen, but it's good to know in case it comes to that. So I'm jumping around trying to stay alive as much as possible. Alright, maybe if I actually move over here and change the point of interest for these enemies, maybe they'll actually put some beacons over here. Alright, so yeah, design a component for its intended audience, aka, or via Mark Rosewater, not AK. Ooh. Headshot with the Rubico. Still didn't take that guy down. Now, if I got, if my Hunter munitions proc, that probably would have killed him, though. So, for example, we have Warframe. Let's identify Warframe. Let's identify its theme, right? Now, the developers, even though they've gone on record that say Warframe is an experiment and they seem to have difficulty defining Warframe, it's actually because Warframe actually is a lot of things. First of all, it's a Space Ninja game, right? That's a theme they keep coming back to. That's like the theme. But what is its genre, right? It is an action RPG with like MMO elements, right? And even then, that's kind of vague, but that's like the best I could do. Warframe actually encompasses a lot of things. So we got its identity, we got its genre, at least a loose definition of its genre. Oh, and I would say the core loop of Warframe, it's very similar to the Division. It's combat, it's customization, and it's collection. Like, you're always doing one of those three things in Warframe. Sometimes the things are more fun than others, but that seems to be the core loop. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, has shooter looter elements too, I think. Yeah, I would say so. It's definitely... I was just hesitant to say shooter looter because you could hacker slasher too. You could go melee or... But yeah, shooter looter, the actual concept of that, it describes what Warframe is to a great extent. Oh, wow. So if you got the identity, you got the genre, then you kind of have an idea of what kind of audience is going to actually be interested in that. At least DE, I think they did. So they want to design for their intended audience. So you know, a lot of the examples I often point to, like when I was playing The Division, when this design quote came up, I'm like, well, I don't think Massive and Ubisoft would put like Cooking Mama, the Division's version of Cooking Mama, into The Division, right? Because that's not really designing for its intended audience. But then we have the meme that Fashion Frame is endgame. And we have floofs, we have a big emphasis on cosmetics. So I actually don't know if I could go to that example. I think there would be Warframe players that would like cooking. So since Warframe has such a diverse audience, I don't know. I haven't really had to address this question with Warframe before, so I don't really know. Like, what wouldn't the general audience like? Or wouldn't... Well, Lunaro, I guess. Fucking Lunaro. I don't think anyone likes Lunaro. I only hear Conclave players talk about, like, hey, we gotta catch up on our Lunaro. So, there is that. Yeah, these beacons being near the top over there are kind of screwing us a little bit. I shouldn't expect someone immediately to be like camping on top of the wall, though. I wasn't specific enough. Damn. Oh, wow, this guy. He's bringing me to business here. Yeah, so I don't know, like, something other than, like, the most outrageous idea. I actually do not know. I can't think of an example of, like, something that could be introduced to Warframe that just would not be for, like, just about anyone. So in DE, in Warframe's case, it's kind of weird. Except for, like I said, Lunaro. I don't hear anyone talking about that. Alright, I think we're getting kind of spicy, though. Alright, where's Homicidal Trader at? Oh, dude, I would have revived you, man. Gotta give me a second. I didn't even know where the hell you were. Alright, now we're getting some kills here. But even so, I don't think DE would go so... Even though I'm bashing Lunaro, it's actually not outside the genre, identity, or the...
Don't worry about it. I'm just grabbing these guys. They're clogging up my screen with all the HUD.
I got you, bud. Actually, you guys mind moving over here a little bit so we can try to get the beacon spread out? I think those beacons on top of the wall are fucking us a little bit. I hope I don't die during this song. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, just mark the location.
Oh shit, shit, shit. Almost died right there. I actually forgot what my waypoint marker was. My waypoint marker key. Well, where I'm standing though.
G on the keyboard.
Oh, maybe it is that. I am almost getting killed by fucking something. Jesus Christ. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got that sweet gas damage, man. Sweet, sweet gas. Sweet Taco Bell damage. I thought it was W. I thought I had my waypoint to W. Oh shit, nope. Oh man. Almost got shot out of the air while aim gliding. Doing some parkour. These enemies are getting serious, man. Getting fucking serious. Alright, there we go. We're killing them. You doing alright? Alright, it looks like we got a new lens that cycled through. Hopefully I'm not a stuttering mess here. I'm just trying to get my bearings. And this is lens 2, the lens of surprise from Jesse Shell, of course. And first question we got in this lens is, what will surprise players when they play this game? Again, this is meant to be spoken from the game developer's point of view, and I am just some random scrubby Tenno playing this game, so of course I can only answer from my point of view. So, when I first played this game, oh my god, like a lot of things surprised me about this game, but what really, really made me fall in love with this game is its movement system. Right? For example, after I was playing Warframe for quite a while, I have a couple friends that are really into Destiny, and they're like, hey, you should try Destiny. I'm like, alright, well, tell me about the movement in the game. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you know, you've seen me play Warframe for a little bit. What can I do? What can I do in, what can I do in Destiny that's similar? They're like, well, if you're like the Ranger class, you could double jump. I'm like, well, can you slide? No. Can you run on walls? No. Can you jump off walls? No. Can you latch on walls? Nope. Can you jump like 50 feet in the air and then double jump? No. Well, I'm like, well, you know, I'm just not interested in it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Before Warframe, I think my favorite game of all time, it still is in a lot of respects, is Prototype. The movement system in that game is so profound and so exquisite. I used to spend hours in that game just moving, jumping from building to building and sliding down the sides of skyscrapers. I wasn't even interested in the combat at times. I just wanted to move as best as I could. But yeah, the freedom of movement you have in Warframe, that fucking surprised me. A homicidal Thor, you like Prototype, dude? Oh man, I'm glad you messaged me. I'm glad. 2 peas in a pod, buddy. Fucking love Prototype. And I have no idea how you are goddamn typing on Twitch and playing this at the same time. It takes all my energy just to talk. So you got some multitasking skills there, son, let me tell you. So yeah, the movement system in Warframe really surprised me. The customization system in Warframe really surprised me. Like, more so the appearance options. I was surprised about the mod system. I was really excited at first, but it took me like a few months to realize, like, yeah, there's hundreds of mods and everything. and the potential's there, but it really boils down to a few dozen mods of for every gear type. So while it turned out to be a surprise at first, in the end it was like, well, there might as well just be a dozen mods for each weapon, and they could call it a day. Homicidal Thor on I just saw an acronym. I just saw DMC5 before I even read anything else. Oh my god, Thor, dude, I love you. Well, actually, let me read the whole comment here. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, dude, I'm killing it on DMC5 right now. Oh man, I have been a fan of Devil May Cry since it came out. So DMC1, I was there fucking launching enemies up into the air with my Alistor, pulling out my Ebony and Ivory, and doing gun juggles on them. In fact, when DE first put out their Melee 3.0 workshop, if one of my posts was like one of the first in that thread, and it was quite detailed, and it actually got a lot of attention, I guess you could say. And I referenced DMC and Ninja Gaiden a lot in it. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, same. I've got the entire series on like 3 different platforms, dude. You're the best. You're the best, man. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Warframe take a more DMC approach. I want to see more challenging enemies here. That's why I was like, let's do this Orb Vallis Survival thing, so we could actually squeeze a little bit of challenge out of this like Dynasty Warriors, this sci-fi version of Dynasty Warriors. And we're actually getting at that point a little bit now. A little bit. Oh, no slash proc. I'm surprised. I still have not played DMC 5. I played all the other ones and beat all the other ones, but I'm kind of... It's a combination of I actually want to get the Platinum Trophy for a DMC 5. Not DMC 5. DMC, the Ninja Theory reboot. I know you probably don't like it, but I'm a big fan of that, and even though I got all the achievements for the 360, I'm trying to get the Plat Trophy for the Definitive Edition, and then I want to move on to DMC 5. My plan so far for this whole streaming thing is I want to get... Where are you at? Let me revive you, buddy. Let me revive you. Let me revive you. Let me revive you. Let me find you, man. I don't see you, actually. Oh, you already revived. Or Vazrin already, someone already revived you. But yeah, I want to get the Plat Trophy for that, and then I'll be moving on to DMC5. But yeah, I think I was explaining my whole spiel here on Twitch and Mixer and YouTube is I want to play games to 100% completion while I'm playing. I'm streaming them, of course. And then once I get 100% completion on a game, then I do a review of it. And I'm going to repeat that X amount of times until I feel I've learned enough to make a game of my own. Oh shit, we still have plenty of beacons, never mind. So, next question in the lens of surprise. Does the story, game rules, artwork, or technology in this game have surprises? Yes, 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 yes. The story, even though the lore framework for Warframe is very rich and detailed and interesting, most of the time the execution of the story, it's like kind of caricature-like. However, the Second Dream stands out as like it really shows the storytelling chops of DE, like what they can do as a company when they really take the story seriously. And maybe they do most of the time, but they have so many different audiences to please. That is a factor, but the story definitely has surprises. The game rules, yeah, because this game is so complex. There are new things being discovered about it all the time that are just hidden within the fucking maze that are these rules. Like, I can't even tell you how long the community went without knowing that Nova's Null Star, her 1 power, that offers damage reduction, and no one knew that. I was playing a game like for 2.5 years before I found that out, along with the rest of the community. So yeah, the rules definitely have fucking surprises, because this game is just so complex. Artwork? Definitely. The aesthetics of Warframe is that kind of actually what drew me into the game. And every so often there's designs, whether it be for a Warframe, a weapon, power, or something that is just like, what in the fuck? Like, so DE's aesthetics definitely offer some surprises from time to time. And depending who you ask, maybe more than that. And what about technology? I would say so because Now, the developers have to speak more to this end because I don't know how the game is coded and put together, but I know this game, even if you're running it on a fucking potato of a computer, it looks great. It looks fantastic. So I'm sure those people that, you know, they're like, I can't run Warframe, I have a potato of a computer, a little shitter toaster, they're probably surprised they can run this game at all. Yeah, we're getting to that challenge now, boys. Yeah. Well, I actually didn't say that over chat. I guess I should repeat myself for false cape. But let me answer the last question here. Do the rules give players ways to surprise themselves? Absolutely. That combined with the fact that there's like kind of like hidden rules in this game because it's so complex. Oh shit, shit. My cat is going down here. Yeah, but sometimes there's interactions between various things in this game. Since, like I said, this game's complexity, it's its strength and weakness at the same time. But that complexity does give opportunities for players to surprise themselves. Like, we have, Homicidal Thor here, right? He's playing a Chroma, and one of his powers is Vex Armor. And basically, when he takes damage, in a short way of explaining it, his armor increases and his damage output increases. However, I don't know if this was known right off the bat, but what am I trying to say here? There's a common damage mod for, let's say, rifles that's called Serration. And with Chroma, if you want to maximize his damage output, you actually want to not use that very obvious damage mod. You want to go for elemental mods instead. I don't want to get too into the weeds in case someone's watching and doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm just trying to give an example that there are ways for players to surprise themselves in this game. There are many ways for players to surprise themselves in this game. Now, whether that's like something that's more emergent, I don't know, but that answers the question, I think. And it looks like we have a new lens here. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, if I remember right, Warframe is optimized pretty well. Yeah, it really is. That's how they got it to run on Nintendo Switch. Hopefully I'm getting to your comment in time. Not too late, I mean. But yeah, it is optimized pretty well. Because I remember I started playing this game. It was from a laptop I bought for like $600 from Best Buy. I just got it for school when I was in college. And I didn't think it could run it, and it ran it just fine. But yeah, Warframe is optimized pretty well. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, you're doing great, man. Thank you, I appreciate it. Appreciate it, bud. I am trying, for sure. Someone's reviving my cat. I don't even know it's dead. What a bad master I am. I'm trying to actually get a combo off on this guy. There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're getting those spicy enemies now, boys. Fucking spicy meatballs everywhere. There we go. Yeah, the sweet slash rocks. Alright, so we got a new lens here. This is from Jesse Shell. All the lenses are from Jesse Shell, but I like saying his name. Makes me sound more distinguished. First question in this lens is, what parts of this game are fun? Why? Well, out of all the things you could throw at Warframe's feet for doing wrong or right, I would say that its core loop, its core combat loop, it is fucking fantastically fun, man. I put over 6,000 hours in this game, and it's not because there's a lack of things to do or play in my life. It's just like the parkour, the gunplay, the melee attacks, it all bleeds together. And I would say as far, I don't know if DE, they sat down and they're like, let's like make this a really carefully thought out design or what. or they just like, hey, we like things from Ninja Scroll and anime and Guyver, and let's just throw it all together, and we like some Dead Space, let's put it in there too. I don't know what their process was, but whatever it was, it fucking works. Like, the core combat loop of Warframe is fucking amazing. And I think if that wasn't the case, it wouldn't be here fucking 6 years later. What are we shooting at here? Oh, he's using Shadows of the Dead, okay. Like, I didn't know what the hell was going on there. Oh, is that my cat? Whose cat is that? I usually don't revive cats, but since this guy... since this guy had the generosity to join me for tonight's little run. Homicidal Thor, I got ya. And outside, I think all the thirds of the core loop of Warframe, the combat, the customization, the collection, well, maybe not so much the collection, because the RNG on some of these items fucking blow. They fucking blow. But the customization, like everything from customizing your appearance to your builds, if you're trying out something like new. Like, for example, I haven't really tried this build of Korra before. I haven't actually played her in a long time, but I'm having fun. Like, so yeah, the combat and the customization in this game are fucking fantastic fun. And I guess that leads into what parts need to be more fun. I would say the collection part of Warframe, like that part of the core loop, but that's a tricky pickle to talk about because Warframe's a free-to-play game, and that collection part of Warframe is directly tied to their economy, you know. So it's one thing for me to say like, or I should say it's easy for me to say like, yeah, Jay, you should increase their drop rates on so and so and so. But if that oh wow, maybe I should switch to my Lux Prime. All right, I'm starting to go down now. But I would say the collection part, it could be made more fun. Like, we're here to collect Torroids, and I wouldn't say like this part's absolutely valuable, absolutely critical to their economy and people keeping their jobs at DE. But the drop chances on these could be a little bit fucking better. Just a little bit. We have 2 loot-based frames, or not loot-based, 2 frames to improve our loot drops. I have a loot-boosting kitty cat, Kate shit right there, or Kate she, and I have a resource booster on, and we're still not getting that many. So yeah, I do want to say that's kind of awful, but at the same time, I don't have the data to support my opinion of it should be better, because I don't know how much that would adversely affect Digital Extreme's bottom line. So I don't really know, but the question of the lens is what parts need to be more fun, and that's what I would say. Like, the combat could definitely be more fun, but it's already fucking fantastic. The customization could definitely be better, but it's already fantastic. So that leaves the collection part. And like I said, it's just tricky because it's directly tied to their well-being, their economy as a developer. Alright, looks like we got some mobs up here. Are they even above us still? I don't know. Got a lot of beacons everywhere. Alright, these guys are gonna get strangle-domed. Or this guy's gonna get strangle-domed at least. Yeah, this Rubico's not performing so bad though. I brought a bunch of weapons here, like my Tigris Prime, Static Core, but the good old Rubico fucking putting in some work. You know what, and I guess now that I'm thinking about it, instead of thinking about the game from a high level, I would say like the bosses in this game could stand to be a lot more fun. The DE relies way too much on invincibility states. Now the Eidolon bosses in the game, they're actually kind of fun, because instead of just waiting for an invulnerability phase to end, it goes in a shield phase and in an HP phase. So you're never standing around not doing damage to the Eidolon. You're just working towards the other phase to come up. I think that's pretty smart. It makes for a very interesting boss fight, in my opinion. But by and large, the boss fights in Warframe aren't that fun. Lephantis is okay, but suffers a little bit from that eye state. And what's one of the worst offenders? I think it's one of the Grineer bosses, Leech Arkrilla or something like that, or Vey Heck on Earth. That's pretty bad. I'm trying to think what else. So the boss fights, the collection part. The PvP mode could be more fun. And it's hard for me to talk about that because, like I said before, like, I really respect PvP. I don't really take the stance of most Tenno, saying, like, the parkour needs to be fucking nerfed or something ridiculous like that. But even though I admire PvP and I want it to stay in the game, and it's just not fun at going against people that have, like, such a higher skill ceiling than me that I feel like a statue when I'm moving around there. Like, I'm trying my best, but my aim's always been bad. And while I have something like the Soma, and I'm like literally spraying and praying, and I can't hit shit, I can't hit anyone because they're moving around so fast, I'm getting headshotted by someone with like the Opticore, you know? Takes them like fucking 5 seconds to charge it up, and they're still killing me. But I'm hard pressed how to make that mode more fun without fundamentally changing what the PvP mode is, and I do not want to change it. That's the thing, I don't want to change it. It's a very high skill ceiling mode. I respect it for that. And I've been putting more time into it to try to get better, but I just don't feel like I'm getting better when I start a match and I'm just like dead, you know? But it has a lot of potential there. I don't know how it could be made more fun off the top of my head without really getting into it. And I've talked to a lot of PvE Tenno and a lot of PvP Tenno on their Discord about this very issue. And I think it comes down to, like, for PvP matches, allow players to host their own, like, matches and have their own custom rules. Well, I think that's how that could be at least a step in the right direction. But, yeah. So we got the next one here, the next quote. It's from Mark Rosar of Magic the Gathering, of course. And this one says, allow the players the ability to make the game more personal. Alright, and what this essentially means, and it's really I wouldn't say startling, but it's since I played the Division, Magic the Gathering, and Warframe, all these games share an immense amount of customization. Magic the Gathering probably the most amount out of all three, but the Division and Warframe are probably after Magic, then it's probably Warframe, because there's just so many ridiculous amounts of mods in here. Even if a lot of them are trash, you can still customize it if you want in that way. And then I would say the Division would come in third as far as customization. But yeah, you allow a game to be made personal by allowing the player to customize it. That doesn't mean that's the only way, but it is a very straightforward and understandable way. Hey, we give you a base template in this game, and you can make it how you want from there. That, by definition, allows the player to make the game personal. And I think the amount of customization combined with the very fun and fluid core combat loop of Warframe, I think that's what it definitely lent a large part to its success. I wonder if my Venari is still on heal. Yeah, she is. I put Streamline here, but I'm barely using her Whipclaw. There we go. Got some Whipclaw action there. I'm barely out of energy, too. Oh, there we go. I got him. And these enemies are taking some fucking damage here. Oh, I can't even get to him to revive. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, but the amount of customization in Warframe, it is very easy to make this game personal. Very easy. I wouldn't say very fast, because before you actually get things that are worth a damn in Warframe, it takes a little bit, especially if you're a free-to-player. Like, you refuse to spend any money for whatever reason. Then that customization comes a lot slower. But me, I dropped a couple bucks, man. I wanted to have the fucking black color in my palette. I took advantage of my 75% off plat discount offerings. I did that shit, so And I think if I was gonna say if I didn't do that, maybe I wouldn't have gotten into Warframe, and the answer to that is I still would have, because I did. I just would have gotten into it slower. I think my my eagerness to dive into Warframe it's directly related to that first 75% off plat discount I got. Oh, I was reading what you said and I got killed. I blame you, homicidal Thor. No, I'm just playing, man. I gotta get better at multitasking if I want to do this whole streaming thing. Alright, while I'm in Void Kid mode, since we don't have a life support to worry about, let me actually read this comment here. Alright, Homicidal Thor says, on Twitch says, one problem I remember a YouTuber pointed out that I wholeheartedly agree with. The presentation of the market first appearances to new peeps, it looks far more malicious and pay to win than it actually is. Could be further from the truth. I really wish they change it to look as amazing as it actually is. Oh yeah, I totally agree, dude. I totally agree. Like, Digital Extremes is good at a lot of things, and its interface being pretty is actually on point, especially the newest iterations. But they are not really too skilled at user experience. And the reason I keep mentioning that is because I went to school for that, so I tend to think about that angle of things a lot more than, like, even though I have a background in the arts, like, I still think about the art and things like that, but user experience, that's where my bread and butter is. Did he die? Wow. Did he get one shot killed? Like, what happened there? False Cape, did we not revive you? How did you die? And yeah, I have no idea how you type that out, dude. I have no idea how you type that much out while playing in this fucking nonsense. Oh, and Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, don't worry about it, it's a paragraph. Yeah, just to keep in mind, I'm not adverse to, like, quote-unquote walls of text or paragraphs. Like, if anything, I appreciate them. It's, like, I didn't mind them at all, like, if I'm, like, writing emails, like, normally, whether it's Gmail or Facebook or something like that. I especially don't mind them on fucking Twitch or Mixer or YouTube, because it means, like, the people watching my stream actually give a shit about what's going on. So the more walls of text I get, the better. I just have no fucking idea how you're typing this shit out while we're playing. I have none. Your typing speed must be like 180 words a minute. Something ridiculous like this. Oh, I just noticed these nullifiers here. They don't have a top part you can destroy. They just have the classic null bubble. For some extra challenge there, huh? Damn. Homicidal Thor says only 70. I think I'm around 65. Alright, I'm going whip call crazy on these guys. Thought we'd be getting more Vega Torroids though. Or whatever Torroids drop here. We have Necros, we have Pilfering Dome, have the Drop Cat. Fucking Drop Cat, and I have a resource booster on personally. I bought one right before we came here. Oh, there's one. I start complaining and there it is. Oh, and there it is again. The game's like, you're talking shit about my drop rates? You're talking about the collection part of this game being a pain in the ass? Well, I got some Vega Torroids for you. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, Lihim. She talking shit on me. I got your fucking Torroids right here. Alright, let's see if I could get some the spawn spread out a little bit here. Oh yeah, they're spawning on top because we moved near the wall there. A homicidal Thor says on Twitch says the spiders from the Exploiter Orb also dropped the decent Vega Torroids. Yeah, I don't do the Exploiter Orbs or the Orb. You're talking about the boss fights, right? Yeah, I don't do those too much. I wish they dropped Arcanes, because then I would do them a lot more. But other than that, like you're going for what, some Torroids, maybe some Gyromag systems or something like that. Like the drops from the Venus bosses actually kind of suck. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, yeah, boss fight. Homicidal Thor on Twitch said, would be nice if drop Arcanes. Yeah, right? I thought that was the original plan, to be honest with you. Even if they don't even have to be new Arcanes, just the same ones, like, it's okay. Like, do I want to fight Eidolons, or do I want to fight, like, the Orbs? Like, I don't see what the problem is with the choice there. Oh, you didn't get a gas proc or a fucking flash proc, that guy. Damn, okay. Oh, we got another Jackal. I guess I'll actually take care of his cat here with the little hat on it. Yeah, these enemies are getting nice and spicy. Nice and spicy, man. Alright, wow. This is a very appropriate lens for what we're doing and the game we are playing. This is the Lens of Challenge. Lens 31, the Lens of Challenge. First question in this lens is, what are the challenges in this game? Oh, man. There's a lot of ways to take this. I have these rotating on every 10 minutes. I actually don't know if 10 minutes is actually enough to describe any of these questions, but I'll try. I'm going to try my best. Let me revive my cat here. So, the biggest challenge in this game, and again, I don't really think it's by design. It's the new player experience. It's so obtuse. It's not like a steep incline. It is a fucking vertical wall with like grease on it. And as you're climbing up this greased vertical wall, like someone is shooting you with like a fucking tennis ball gun, right? So the biggest challenge in this game is learning what in the fuck is going on. What in the fuck is going on in this game? What do these mods mean? What are syndicates? How do you combine to get elementals? There are elementals in this game. Like, there's so much to learn, and I'm not against the game having complexity, but the pathways towards these things in the game, these affordances, sometimes they're just not existent. They're just not there. And I think that's a big no-no. Oh, wait. We got a familiar face here on Twitch. Lee AF Gaming. I might spread them out to half an hour even. There's enough material listed here for an hour-long lecture. Glad to see you, man. Are you back in the saddle or what? I know you sent me that message on Facebook. I didn't want to, like, pester you or whatever. I know you're, like, very intelligent guy that, you know, knows what's going on. I didn't want to be like, well... But I'm glad to see you're back on the grind, dude. I've been here the whole time. The whole fucking time, buddy. Glad to see you again. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, I don't know. On one hand, I really like how the game doesn't necessarily hold your hand. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, I don't want the game to hold my hand either, right? Because that definitely could get excessive. And as much as I want to criticize the user experience, right, there is something to be said about players having to go to the wiki and having to go to the forums and the Reddit to find out what the fuck's going on. Like, how much more of a community was built because of that. So I can't just dismiss the new user experience outright, but I can say confidently that it's pretty poor. But what I don't know is if that's by design for DE. Was it a calculated move on their part? Like, hey, if we don't explain what's going on in the game, they'll have to go to the wiki and turn to each other. That's going to build a community, and that's going to help our game actually survive. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't even know if DE knows, to be honest with you. Who fucking knows? Lee as fuck gaming says, "Hey, good to see you too. No, having some health issues. Hopefully, I'll be back after my next doctor's visit. Thanks for the thoughts. Glad to see you've been sticking to it. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's it. Some days are better than others. Some days are definitely better than others. But like I said, before I think I mentioned to you before, like the top job recommendations on Indeed.com for me are fucking sandwich artist at Subway. Despite having a military background, such as yourself, and an associate's and a bachelor's, so I'm gonna keep doing this streaming thing because if worse comes to worst and I cannot find anything but a shitty job, I have this to work on. I have this to keep pushing forward on. So until the day I fucking wake up and be like, hey, I want to be a sandwich artist, I'm gonna keep this streaming thing going because fuck that. Fuck sandwich artist at Subway. I'm just saying, buddy. I can't actually think my cats are getting one shot now. All right, try to get back to the first question here. So yeah, the user experience, I think that's an unintended challenge, but it may not be. I really don't know. It's kind of interesting discussion to have, to be honest with you. There we go. But as far as like what this question I think is generally asking, like general challenges, I mean, it's hard. This game is actually kind of balanced before you start getting mods. So I don't think the weapons and warframes themselves are overpowered. And that kind of gets into a whole new territory because DE is trying to sell the Space Ninja power fantasy. But I played this game without mods like when I first started, and sometimes I go into missions without mods now. And you quickly realize it's not the weapons or the warframes themselves that are overpowered. It's the fucking mods. But I think that is by design because of the whole power fantasy thing. Anyway, I didn't say too much there. I try not to because of the next question. Too easy, too hard, or just right? It's hard at the beginning, but once you get those mods and once you know how to build a warframe, the game becomes very, very easy. Very, very, very... sometimes falling asleep easy, and that's kind of like why we're on this map right now doing this Orb Vallis Survival, because god damn it, like finding something that actually is really challenging, you have to work at it in this game. You have to seek it out and find it. You really do. And this Orb Vallis Survival, pseudo survival mode I should say, it is us just worrying about pure survival, not fucking life support, not goddamn interception panels or chiropods or excavation drills where the enemies bring their fucking the power cells to their drills for God knows what reason. For God knows what reason. We don't have to worry about anything here other than surviving. And as you can see, it's getting pretty tough right now. It's getting pretty insane. And that's just the way I like it. It's like, I know DE is trying to sell a power fantasy, but I don't feel powerful if I'm stealing candy from a fucking baby, you know what I mean? Hey, in this game, we're going to give you the Infinity Gauntlet. And you know what you're going to do with that Infinity Gauntlet? You're going to steal candy from a baby. Like, what? Okay, I guess that's a power fantasy for some people, right? I'm sure it's fun for a while. I mean, not everything has to be like Dark Souls level of challenging or Devil May Cry challenging all the time, but you know, sometimes you have a shitty day at work and you just want to come home and mow some shit. I've been there. I understand that. But there should be accessible or easily to get to a hardcore challenges game. Like, I'm not gonna, I had to watch my words there because I didn't want to say accessible challenge. But if I'm in the mood to play some really challenging enemies, I shouldn't have to work an hour to get there. That's basically what I'm saying. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, I have Candy Stealer Prime. And I guess that's like the Kappa. Is that guy's head called Kappa? I'm old, dude. I don't know. I'm trying to learn the ways of the kids. Oh, I just shot that. I just gas procced that guy in his ass. I'm gonna do it again. Oh, gas procs out of the ass, literally out of his ass. Lee as fuck gaming on Twitch says, we all have those guilty pleasure games. Some inane, mindless game that we just used to relieve for stress. For me, that was Dynasty Warriors. And the head means sarcasm. Yeah, Lee AF, this game is kind of like Dynasty Warriors. I mean, I say kind of, like very loosely. But what we're doing right now, I purposely sought this out because it's like one of the more challenging areas of this game, if you know how to work it. But otherwise, you would see us steamrolling like fucking everything like it was Dynasty Warriors. Like, if we went into like a map with normal level enemies, we would just like, even if they were like considered high, right? There's kind of like an end game-ish, and I emphasize the I-ish part. There's kind of an end game-ish mission type in this game called sorties. And even if we went to sorties with what we had now, we would just steamroll. Like, Digital Extremes, the ones who make Warframe, they have like, there is some issue with them with endgame. And they're too smart of people to not know how to do it. I really don't know what their issue is. I really don't. But the next question in the lens is, can challenges satiate a wide range of skill levels? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, this states those who just want to come home from a shitty day at work or whatever and just want events, right? Dynasty Warrior style. So this game mostly satiates those who enjoy Dynasty Warrior type of challenge. But so I guess maybe it does, because maybe I'm just focusing too much on endgame and hardcore. So if that's actually the case, then yeah, I guess it would satiate a wide range of skill levels. And so yeah, I guess I'm incorrect on that. It just doesn't satiate like my need for like really, really challenging shit that often. But it is now though. It is now, especially streaming and trying to read and respond to chat, man. My fucking my synapses are firing on all fucking pylons right now. Or all pistons, however you want to say it. Next question is, oh, we didn't even get to the end of the challenge lens. God damn it. I guess that's a good problem to have, right? If I'm too busy talking to chat and involved with what I'm actually talking about currently, that's a good problem to have. I kind of want to ask this guy, this false cake guy, if he's using any kind of evasive parkour. I don't mind that he's dying so much, but damn. I don't want to offend him, you know what I mean? He was generous enough to come here and farm with us and play the pseudo survival mode, but he's dying a lot. Like a lot. Now watch me die. Watch that happen. Oh, he's dying a lot. Oh, I'm dead. Lead as Fuck Gaming says, hell yeah it is. Damn right. Damn right. Lead as fuck. How's the music? How's the music level? I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting it just right because the music's blaring in my ears, so it sounds really loud to me, but it doesn't sound so loud to the viewers. The viewers don't hear it that loud. Lee as Fuck Gaming says, oh, it's quiet. I can barely hear it. Oh, okay. Maybe that'll help me avoid some copyright claims on YouTube, but that's about it. Yeah, I have to figure out a way that it's more audible, but not like blasting in my ears. I'm not sure how to go about that. I guess I could try to capture the audio directly from Winamp. I guess I haven't tried that yet. Damn, gas damage going right past shields, and still takes a lot. Still takes a lot. Alright, so next, the next quote is from Mark Rosewater of Magic the Gathering, of course. And this is from his talk, Magic the Gathering 20 Years, 20 Lessons Learned. And the reason I mention that, I usually don't mention the presentation where these quotes are from, even though they're sourced right there, is because his last lesson, his 20th lesson he learned, he said make sure all the other lessons connect. Leaders Talk Gaming, oh wait, hold on. We got a quote from, a statement from Homicidal Thor. I think you have to change something in your OBS or what have you. I think I do. Leaders Talk Gaming says you can enable it as another part of your scene in OBS. Adjust its individual volume there, etc. You can have multiple audio streams. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. Probably not tonight, but yeah. That's bothering me. Because when I actually play music, I would like people to hear it, even if they hate it. No? But I don't want to blast in my ears to the point that I can't even hear myself talk, you know what I mean? Homicidal Thor says, not sure. Yeah, that. There we go. What goes around comes around. Helping out Lead as Fuck Gaming a little bit ago, just directing him towards some videos. Now I got some help coming back around. Lead as Fuck Gaming says, write it down, set it aside, worry about it later. No need to interrupt stream. Agreed. Alright, let's get this Strangle Dome going. Let's get the Strangle Dome going. And the Jackal's dead. The Jackal is dead. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so this one from Mark Wosewater. Yeah, wait a minute, hold on. Pavlov 1552. I recognize that name, I think. I think I recognize that game. But yes, hello. In case I haven't seen you before, hello. But yeah, non-Prime Rubico. I don't have all the parts. But for right now, it's working out. It's working out okay. It's working out just fine. How you doing, buddy? Have you been here before? Your name does seem familiar. Pavlov, 15. I'm just gonna call you Pavlov instead of 1552 every time. Why can't you have a nice numberless name like False Cape or Homicidal Thor? I think I have the receiver and the barrel. I'd actually have to go on my ship. I think I'm missing 2 out of the 4 parts. I figure I was gonna get it whenever I got it, you know. But if you could help me, I mean, I'm not gonna turn down some Rubico Prime assistance. I'll fucking tell you that much. Pavlov on Twitch says, because all the number lists were taken and I just used the first part of my email address. I got you, man. I'm just joking with you, man. Hey, your name is your own. It's not like I'm the fucking authority on usernames online. As long as it's not like Flat Earth Believer #1, I think you're good in my book, buddy. Just don't pick that name. Lead as Fuck Gaming says they weren't actually taken. You've just been conditioned to think that. Uh-oh. We got a discussion going on here. A discussion steeped in puns. I see what you did there, Elite. I see what you did there. Oh, wow. What a finisher that was. So anyway, getting back to what... Certified nickname critic. Yeah, maybe that's if I don't make it as a Twitch streamer or Mixer streamer or YouTube streamer. Maybe that's what I'll do. People could come to me and I'll be their advisor for nicknames, for their online nicknames. I'll be like, you know what, Susan? I don't think you want to call yourself Big Balls Deep Dong number 69. I think I want to advise against that. You probably don't want to go with that name. Take it from me, I'm a professional. But yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Reverse meme retort. Oh, we got counters. We got Street Fighter Alpha counters going on in chat. People are turning over in the air, twisting around like a hot dog at Turkey Hill. It's happening, people. It's happening. Alright, I'm trying to move over here to see if it could affect the spawns a little bit better. Oh shit! I couldn't move for a second. I was like, what the fuck happened? Oh yeah, so what Mark Rosewater was saying here is, yeah, make sure all the lessons that you're taking from his presentation connect. And how that particularly applies to Warframe is they make a lot of systems, like they kind of half-bake them, rush them out, and then they forget about them or don't work on them anymore until the fan outreach gets so intense, like they have to do it. And a lot of the systems do not connect with one another. Like for example, Archwing. It's a system with so much fucking potential to be like a Zone of the Enders type of game within Warframe, but it's fucking. It sucks. It sucks for the most part. Actually, Brozime, however you want to say his name, she came out with a history of Archwing video today that actually covers it quite well. I'm coming for you, Homicidal Thor. Oh, you fell down. I got you though. Pavlov on Twitch says, we're farming for toroids, but we're specifically doing this here above grounds in Orb Vallis because I just wanted to have a challenge. I actually wanted to have a challenge without worrying about stupid life support, interception terminals, excavation drills, or chiropods. As long as you keep the beacons going, the enemies keep escalating in level, the challenge keeps getting steeper, and it's actually about pure survival and nothing else. So the first thing I'm actually farming for is challenge. The secondary thing is toroids. I hope that makes sense. Pavlov on Twitch says, dude, they're making a rail kek and stuff. You mean rail jack? Yeah, I don't know if they got the archwing thing right though yet. We're gonna see. Based on their history though, we'll see. We'll see if rail jack's gonna be something they half cook, they half bake, and just forget about. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not too hopeful though, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to be a pessimist, I'm just going off their history, you know? Pavlov on Twitch says, it's basically Archwing 2.0. They don't scale past 135. Oh, there's 136. There's 125. I don't know what level that guy was. Oh, that's what's getting me up there. Alright, let me revive my cat here. Oh, shit. Trying to get this thing has cost me. Oh wow, you guys are having a little trouble reviving me here. It's getting a little salty.
Yeah, I ran out of energy on my operator.
Pavlov on Twitch says XMS units have 10 extra levels. Oh, I hope the scaling's not over with. I hope it's not. Why would they put that cap in there? Why? Well, I want to verify it for myself. No offense. I just want to verify it for myself, so I could go to Reddit and bitch about it from personal experience. We have a viewer on Twitch by the name of Pavlov that's saying that the enemies don't scale past 125. If so, that sucks.
That's what it looks like. They've been 125 for quite a while now.
The hell? Yeah, I don't know why they have these guys still spinning around. This is so annoying. What the hell is shooting us? Why would they put a cap on that? That's so lame. Why, D? This is what I mean. You really have to go out of your way to find a substantive challenge in this game. And just when you think you do. Oh, here come the training wheels. Pavlov on Twitch says try arbitration excavations. Yeah, I think those drones are pure design cancer though. That's the thing. Those drones are pure cancer. Like, do arbitration drones make the game harder? Yes, they do. But you know what? You know what also makes the game harder? If I was to try to play this with one hand, or if I had to take a shit and I refused to go, that would also make the game harder. Does it make it fun? No, but it does make it harder, so I will give DE that. But those things are fucking pure cancer. I want nothing to do with those. And I need Torroids more than I need Ephemera and Aura mods. Oh my god. Don't even get me started on those arbitration drones. Lead Fuck says, well then, maybe you need to find a harder game. This game does have some difficulty. You just really have to, like seek it out, or you have to work for it. Like there's other missions we could go in that the enemies keep scaling, but they have a bunch of other conditions associated with them. And it has a PvP mode that's probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest, PvP experiences you could have in a game. Because you could do all this crazy parkour shit that you see me doing now while you're fighting other people, and it is so hard to get a beat on someone. Yeah, I think Pavlov's right with the 125 here. Pavlov on Twitch says, I mean 3 excavations, 0 loss, 30 total, etc. Should take about an hour. Yeah, I'm not a fan of arbitrations though. Homicidal Thor says, I liked it when D invaded games playing soccer and started going for the objective kill. Yeah, that was cool as shit, man. I wouldn't mind that. They're supposed to be rolling that out, but they're still deciding how to implement that, you know? Even though I'm all for the challenge, that should definitely be like an opt-in system, you know? If we have a beginning player, they're trying to farm some fucking neurodes or something, they shouldn't have to worry about getting invaded by Mr. Elite Sauce, top tier Conclave player, just fucking killing them to shit and back. Pavlov on Twitch says, imagine playing survival and only getting a third of the possible drops. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking about arbitration. They're like, hey, if you want a challenge, we'll give it to you, sort of, but you're not going to get as rewarded for it. Like, what? They go in the inverse of scaling rewards. I do not get it. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, some implementation of that in higher tier games could be pretty cool. Oh yeah, I'm not going against that at all, really. Pavlov on Twitch says, just shark stun his ass to death. Homicidal Thor, I think that's a smiley face. And Pavlov says, what's the problem here? I'm not really sure. What problem are you talking about? Sometimes it's hard for me to keep track of what is being referenced in chat because I'm flapping my gums like a mile a minute. So you could be agreeing or disagreeing or referencing something I said like 200 words ago. You know what I mean? Pavlov says player-controlled stalkers. Oh, I mean, I personally don't have a problem with it. I think it would be pretty awesome as a Dark Souls fan. I would love that. But it should just be an opt-in system. Like, you could choose to be, like, to have the possibility to be invaded by other players. Especially for new players, right? If they're just, you know, starting out in the game, they're just trying to farm some basic resources on, like, Venus and Mercury. They don't necessarily need or want to be invaded by another player to just be eviscerated, you know? Homicidal... Oh, wait, hold on. Pavlov on Twitch said, will be so easy to beat, you would not even want to opt out of it. Just alt-fire your amp for free loot, LMAO. Well, not everyone has their operator mode, you know what I mean? Especially new players, which is kind of like what I'm talking about. But yeah, you do have a point there. Unless they could call you out of void mode. Homicidal Thor says, oh yeah, forgot to mention I'm hardcore Souls player. Homicidal Thor, you're full of fucking awesome surprises tonight, huh? Prototype, Orb Vallis Survival, Devil May Cry. Hey, if you want to pay my rent too, that'd be awesome. I mean, I might as well. Just in case you're like the younger relative of Mr. Beast. I don't mind like $100,000 donation. I'd be happy to accept it. Pavlov on Twitch says, there will be an opt-out. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I'm all for it. Just give players a chance to opt out. And I think, yeah, they're at 125 for a while now. I mean, we're still in one-shot territory, but It's a little bit deflating that they're not going up in level anymore. Homicidal Thor says, I'm still looking for someone to help me play LOLs. Hey, I might. Do you have it on the PlayStation 4 by chance? Because I still meant to complete Platinum Trophy Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. I still have to get to those games. Where are the enemies at? Oh, here they are. Fucking hiding. Goddamn PUBG campers. Oh, what's getting me here? Oh, that thing. Still at level 19. Get out of here. Get out of here with your level 19 bullshit. Homicidal Thor says no, only PC. Reread that. You misread. Oh, pay mine. Oh, okay. Okay, got ya. Pavlov on Twitch says 100 munitions with gas. You are correct, sir. Or ma'am. That's weird. Yeah, I guess I'm a weird guy. Yeah, Pavlov, I'm not like really like a meta player here. If I was a meta player, I wouldn't be like doing what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? I'm over 6,000 hours into this game, and Torroids is one of the last things I have left to actually do besides get my conclave standing up and half a focus tree. So if I don't find new interesting things for me to do, like using non-optimal elemental builds, I probably wouldn't be playing the game. Lee as fuck gaming. Hi, I misread it the same exact way. See? It's not just me. It must be a Pennsylvania thing, perhaps. Also, you can speedrun Profit Taker with Kitty for 6k Torroids. You mean 6,000 worth of standing or 6,000 Torroids? Because if you're talking about 6,000 Torroids, I think I'd be interested in learning all about that. Or crawl through Exploiter or fight for 12k Torroids. Again, I want to know if you mean the actual number of Torroids is in the 1,000, or the standing. So you're all out of lives? Okay, standing for each. I was gonna say, fucking 12,000k Torroids, I will stop this shit right now, and we're gonna go do that. I'll go fucking do some meta farm technique for 26,000 Torroids. I'm like, are you fucking serious? How did I not hear about that? Alright, so False Cape, you're completely KO'd, dead as shit right now, right? Out of revives, all that? Oh shit. My mouse keeps getting fucked up, like, I keep losing control of my character, like, for a couple seconds here and there. Homicidal Thor says, Lihim, yes, he's out of revives. Well, I farmed Pavlov on Twitch says, well, I farmed 200 Charisma Torroids during double everything weekend. Oh, yeah. I was farming Torroids back then, too, but I was farming Torroids and Kuva and gems. Like ores and shit, too. It was split between all three. Yeah, I don't know what rep it is. So Falsecape, if you're all out of revives, I guess we can go in a little bit. Because I don't want to repay your generosity for coming with us just by having you sit there and fucking watch us play. Be kind of rude. Pava on Twitch says Ghouls 2.0 will have modifiers on them. That'd be cool. That would be very cool. Double loot plus creds. Oh, nice. Just a shame there's nothing in the Plains Eidolon I really need anymore. Except arcanes. But those come from Eidolons, of course. I'm not even reviving my own cat. I'm so terrible. I'm such a terrible Tenno. Leadusfuck Gaming on Twitch says, you might have misread on your optical mouse. Could be dirty, could have a slight reflection on your mouse pad area, could be a slight malfunction in your mouse. Q-tip with alcohol on the bottom camera will fix you right up, most likely. Hey, thanks for a tip, man. Thanks for a tip. I'll definitely give my mouse some TLC after the stream. Pavlov on Twitch says, thermia fractures, I mean, Ghouls 2.0. Okay, I know what you meant now. Now that you said thermia. Yeah, my desk is a little shiny, lead as fuck. So that could have something to do with it. And this was a kind of like a throwaway mouse I gave to my girlfriend to use for her computer. But my mouse I normally use, it runs on batteries only, unfortunately. And I'm just too cheap to buy batteries anymore, so I just use her mouse. I can't even get to my cat here. All right, homicidal Thor. I guess we could go because I don't want him to. I don't want him to keep sitting there. Oh, right in the ass. All right, Pavlov from Twitch. Wait, actually, hold on. Homicidal Thor says. Hold on, let me revive my cat first of all. Homicidal Thor says on Twitch, I've actually been having that problem. Thanks for the tip, viewer. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't know if you're into Monster Hunter at all, Homicidal Thor. But I know Lead as Fuck Gaming IRL, a real cool guy, and he streams Monster Hunter all the time, or at least he used to, as of a couple weeks ago. But if you're interested in that game, pretty cool guy. You should check out his stream sometime. I was wondering where you were, Thor, and your dead chroma body dropped on me. It dropped on me. It fucking dropped on me. Oh my god. I was like, where is Thor? Dead chroma. Alright, let's get out of here, bud. False Cape is dead. Let's get out of here. Pavlov on Twitch says, are you running any Operator Arcanes? Yeah, I'm running Magus Elevate and Virtuous Fury. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, I was halfway to Fortuna. Oh, you came back to revive me. Okay, I got you. Oh, my cat is dead. Super Helmbreaker. Oh! Eat that, Devil May Cry. Helmbreaker up from the fucking stratosphere. Pavlov says Virtuous Fury is an amp arcane. Well, I just want to cover all the bases. Magus Elevate and Virtuous Fury. Yeah, I'm running double Elevate. Pavlov. Yeah, that was a good game. I liked it. I had fun.
Easy peasy, man. No problem.
It's a shame that the enemies stopped leveling, but hey, it happens.
Yeah, just when it was getting fun, man.
Yeah. Like, why would they stop it from leveling? Like, I just don't understand.
I don't know. I was kind of surprised that they did stop.
Yeah, if Pavlov from Twitch actually did not mention that, I don't know how long we would have been going before I actually noticed that. Because I was definitely in one-shot territory. I don't know about you guys.
Sometimes I kept randomly dying. I would never see where it came from, though.
False Cape, I'm assuming you don't have a mic? I guess he doesn't. Yeah, he might actually have both of us muted. I have no idea. This guy is running on no sound, and we've been fucking chatting with him.
Whoops.
We'll see. I started streaming at 7 and it's 8:38. I'd be up for doing that again if you are. I could ask False in text if you want. It's up to you, though.
Me personally, I've got to get ready for work tomorrow.
Oh, I got you, man. Real life actually takes priority.
Right, yeah. No big deal. Well, best of luck to you. See you around.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining the party, and thanks for the follow on Twitch. I really, really do appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, Homicidal Thor, man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for helping out with the chroma action. I do appreciate it. And I was gonna say have fun at work tomorrow, but who knows where you work? You might be like, fuck that place. I don't want to have fun at that place. I want to burn it down. So try to enjoy yourself. Hopefully you get like a 3,000% raise tomorrow. So let's put it that way. All right, let's see what False Cape Hair said. Alright, looks like it might be just me. Now the thing with my streams, since I take time to like title them and thumbnail them, I don't feel at liberty to change the focus of the stream. I don't know who's invited me to their dojo, but I'm not like who's Dezikar? No idea. Homicidal Thor on Twitch says, I want to fire most of management at my place. Yeah, that's how it usually is, man. I've had plenty of jobs like that. Well, I have a lot of jobs in my life, so I know exactly how that feels. So let me go trade it and see how much standing I got here for fucking Little Duck. Like I said, half the reason I'm doing it is for challenge. The other half is to rank up with her already. Get this out of the way. Trade Torroids for standing. Alright, redeem all. Let's get this next level going. Well, hopefully I have what I need to go to the next level here. Okay, thank God. I was gonna be pissed if I didn't. Those repeller systems though, they're harsh. They're hard to come by. Why do they need them so bad? What kind of shit are they doing? I know Magus Lockdown's pretty ridiculous, so I guess I'll get that. I saw a video by this YouTuber named Sapmatic. He's pretty good. He actually streams too. And he showed me the power of this. Well, not showed me, but he made a video that showed me the power of this. And yeah, I'm just going to start stocking up on these. And we're going to trade in some more Torroids. Vegatory, I think that's what I just got. See if I can do 10 of each. So I'm sure I need these crafting materials for other things. Alright, redeem all. Alright, so I still do need more Torroids, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Alright. So that takes the kind of the wind out of my sails. I really thought that the enemies kept escalating, like... I'm actually glad Pavlov stopped by and let me know that. Because I get so involved into the combat, I wasn't really looking at the levels, so... I mean, it's still kind of a challenge to get up to that point. It's still fun. But now that I know once I reach 125, if I can stabilize, well, that's it. You know? But let's see how I do solo. There are definitely plenty of times I got revived and was helped out by both Homicidal Thor and Fallscape. Alright, and I'm still on invite. I don't want some rando coming in here fucking everything up. And it doesn't matter if I put it on solo, I can't pause it. Alright, so yeah, let's see how I do solo. See if I get fucking wrecked. Wreck-It Ralph. Hey, Lee as fuck. I wonder if I should say just Lee AF. I haven't gotten any kind of like warnings or copyright things or anything like that, but I'm wondering sometimes I'm pushing the limits with what I talk about housing level. So I'm just gonna call you Lee AF. You can call me Lee. Hey, sometime in the future, would you be up for like a bonfire or something? And I mean like in the future. I don't mean like next week or tomorrow. Because either I would have to come down there or you could come up here. I would prefer to actually come down there just to, because I spend so much time in the house. Well, I don't know what your situation's like. I'm just putting it out there so maybe we could plan for like a month or two down the road. Hell yeah, alright, nice man. I just would like to drink some booze and sit around the fire and fucking dork it out. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the spaceport. But this time I'm going solo. I want to see how I do on my own, by my own power, by my own will, with my own skills, like a man who controls a female warframe from the future. Helmbreaker! Alright, Lee. Well, I have an actual fire pit, so yeah, you're welcome to come by for a fire this summer. Okay, that sounds pretty fucking good. Alright. I'm gonna look at the musical issue right now, because this song's pretty good. Now it's blaring in my ears, but I can still actually hear myself talk. But we gotta turn it up. We gotta make it happen. If there's a time to make the music happen, it's for this one. This music is perfect for this game. Oh, you fucking know it. You know it, Lee. Big fan of Perturbator, big fan of Carpenter Brute, and this is a song by fucking both of them, so it's a win-win. Video for it's pretty awesome too. It's like it's like kind of tacky, but it's dark and cheesy all at the same time. It's great. I won't spoil it for you, but if you ever do watch this video of the same name, the guy gets ready to go somewhere twice. Like, it's hilarious. He gets ready, and then he gets ready again. Lee, let me look it up. If you've never heard of these artists before, I think you'll like them. I won't guarantee you will. I know we like some things musically that are similar, but I don't know how much there's an overlap. But I love this fucking song, buddy. Love it. Dual screens, you are a delight. Yeah, dual screens, man. What a night and day difference when I tried to stream last year with a single monitor. Oh my god. Yeah, take that, dead body. Like if we ever like hang out like this summer, I'll get ready to come to your place, and then once I get there, we're gonna get ready again to go somewhere else. Lee on Twitch says, it actually was the military that made me fall in love with multiple screens. It was a goddamn necessity of what we were doing for translation. Oh, okay. We've probably all done it before. It's just particularly hilarious in that video. Especially with such like kind of like a dark undertone a little bit, you know what I mean? Oh, slammed attack his dead body. Alright. Not doing too bad by myself, but the levels have not even really began to climb. Alright, so next quote we have is from Dieter Rams. His principle. One of his quote-unquote 10 principles of design. His 10 commandments of design. Good design is aesthetic. Alright, so this may seem a little bit like kind of obtuse, because what can you design that does not have an aesthetic? Even if you were to go for a totally austere type of look and feel and visual style, that in itself could be considered an aesthetic. Or not an aesthetic, an aesthetic. Sorry, forgive me there. So what I think Dieter Rams is talking about here is assuming that the functionality and the actual physical moving parts of the product are all in line and all you have left is visual style and aesthetics, the aesthetics should serve the core purpose and core function of the product. Now I would have to read up on it a little bit more if that's actually what he means, but that's what I interpret it to mean now. And look at that, as soon as I started reading it, we got the next quote. About 10 minutes was long enough, but apparently when I get involved in chat or the game itself, surprise, surprise, it turns out not to be that long. Alright, so the next quote we have, well, first of all, I see someone said something, it's probably Lee on Twitch says, I think you were remembering a different music video. This was one guy where he murders a woman he picks up at a bar. Yeah. He starts off underground in some underground facility. He gets ready, like he puts on his jacket. And then he arrives at the hotel or whatever, and then he gets ready to go out. So he gets ready twice. Yeah, it's the same video, bud. To any viewers that may have come in right at that time and saw that that comment, woman murders woman at a bar, probably tuned right back out. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, that guy's all sorts of dead. All sorts of dead. Yeah, you call your friends. I'm ready for him. Alright, so yeah, the lens 33, the lens of triangularity. First question is, does the game have triangularity? If not, how to get it? Alright, I have to remember what this is. I actually looked at the diagram. Let me get to Lead's comment first, before I try to remember what the triangularity was. Lee on Twitch says, yeah, that's a murderer changing your look and dress before they commit a crime so they aren't recognized and can't be pinned. Much less silly and funny than I had assumed. I just thought it was funny. Yeah, it's definitely kind of like a dark video, but I just found that part kind of funny. Alright, let's get this pilfering dome going on here. Alright, what was... one point of this triangle was the player. I think I'd actually have to look this up. I was reading from the book, And I was like, all right, I won't forget this. And the first time it comes up, I forget it. Lee, I'll look it up for you. Yeah, I would do it now. I mean, I could. It's not like I have a time limit. I could open up my Kindle real fast. Alright, it's lens 33. Yeah, I know one point in the triangle is a player. Alright, he already looked it up. Alright, so Lee on Twitch says, triangularity. Edit. In-game studies, triangularity refers to what Jesse Shell's balanced asymmetric risk. Shell 181. This is a situation that arises when a player is faced with a choice between two actions. One is low risk and gives, oh, okay. Low risk, low reward, high risk, high reward. I should have been able to piece it together from the fact that I was talking about risks. Alright, so does this game have low risk, low reward? Yes. Does it have high risk, high reward? Yeah, so it does have triangularity. Because as much as I harp on this game for not being that challenging, it does have some challenging aspects. It definitely has some risky aspects to it too. So yeah, the game by definition does have triangularity. And Lee, thank you so much for looking that up. Because if not, I was going to have to like open up my Kindle, find the page, hope I stay alive in game. It was going to be a big hassle. So I greatly appreciate it. Alright, next question is the triangularity balanced? Now, even though this doesn't necessarily relate to challenge, right? The challenge of the game, I would say at least in part is has at least some relation to it, right? Because the reason that the triangularity isn't balanced in this game is because most of the game is low risk, low reward. Because as long as you know what to build, what to bring for a certain mission, like, you're gonna be alright. Like, this may look a little bit harder than well, it definitely is harder than the rest of the game. Or some parts of the game. But that's because I'm specifically doing it because of that reason. Now, there's a mode in this game, in Warframe in particular. Maybe I'll even play it. Probably not, though, but... It's called the Index. And you could actually... It's a good way to earn credits in this game. And what it does is it asks you to put... You could do a low risk, or a low wager, a medium wager, or a high wager. And if you pick low wager, you put like a low amount of credits as like a down payment. But then you can win a little bit, and the enemies aren't too hard. Same thing, and it scales up depending on if it's medium or a big wager. And on big wager, the enemies actually are kind of challenging. So that's actually a direct example of this lens. But yeah, I would say that for the most part, it's not balanced. But if you seek out challenge in this game, like I was saying, like there's these modes, these missions called Endless Mission. They're like, they keep going, like, and enemies keep getting tougher as long as you meet the conditions to keep going. And in those type of missions, like, you have to make it to the next like interval where you're allowed to leave, or you can choose to stay. So there is some triangularity there, but the rewards don't scale with the difficulty of the enemies that much. At least not as much as you would think or would want. Next question is, rewards to measure it with the risk. Yeah, I kind of already answered that. Like, yes, I'm very glad this... Look at this guy. What is he doing? Like, I'm glad this game has a mode, like the endless mission types, where you can keep going as long as you can actually keep going and facing the scaling enemies. But the rewards, they do scale with the difficulty, with how far you are in endless, but they do have a cap. And the rewards that do scale are not to measure it, right? Like the little stuff I'm getting on the ground that you see on the bottom of the screen popping up, like in addition to the rifle, like the actual resources, like they start to scale up. But what you're actually there for, most likely, that does not scale up. Like the actual rare drops you're looking for, that they do not scale up like at all. And I'm not really sure why DE stance is that way, but I'm sure they have their reasons. Because it gets so much more complicated when you're talking about a free-to-play game, right? Because the drops and the economy, that's directly related to their well-being as a company, like their financial well-being, you know? Lee on Twitch says, I feel like triangularity is a bare minimum. Yeah, players should have choices and rewards should change scale based on performance. The flaw here is limiting yourself to only 2 options here. Do you mean like myself, the way I'm expressing it, or the triangle itself? Yeah, because I could, it could be taken at least those 2 ways. Speaking of 2. Oh yeah, these lenses and design quotes, it's how I'm trying to get over me not fucking talking enough during streams. Plus it promotes discussion. As you're finding out. The triangle itself, oh well, Lee on Twitch says, the triangle itself, I'm criticizing the developer's philosophy, not anything you said. I'm sure the triangle could be more comprehensive. This book that the lenses come from, they're mostly made to be used by game developers who are actually making the game, with the ideal being that the developers answer the questions either in-game or acknowledge them, with the hopes that by doing so it makes the game better. And a lot of these lenses tie into another, but I won't argue that like the triangle itself could be a little bit more nuanced. But I just wanted to give you a full context of where the lenses come from. Oh god, we actually talked about that so long. It cycled to the next lens. Oh my goodness. Good days. Good days. Lee on Twitch says, yeah, by the way, you've made amazing progress with your channel discussion. I meant to mention that. Real improvement since we last spoke. Yeah, man, it's hard, man. It's basically like when we come onto the stream, like we're running our own talk show. And I was like, man, I gotta fucking do something here. I want to stream. I want it to go forward, but I'm not talking a lot. And so this is a way that I've tried to address that issue. But yeah, I appreciate the I appreciate the kind words, man. And when the times I was watching your stream, I was like, well, he seems to have his fucking shit down for the most part, at least more than me. So if he's doing it, I need to do it. We're both from the same state, goddammit. Gotta summon up that keystone power. Gotta summon up that keystone fucking power and make it happen. Drink that lion's head and start fucking talking something, man. Fucking something, man. Alright, we got new lens and we got some new comments from Lee here. Let me check it out. Let me place another strangle dome. Get some CC going on this guy. Oh, he can't actually shoot him for some reason. Lee AF said, how do you feel about asymmetric gameplay factors being implemented? Do you feel that balance can be achieved, or do you think systems are better left purely symmetrical? Example, flight, teleportation, environmental manipulations. If you say so. I do say so. I think I lean more towards the asymmetrical side, because I know balance is like kind of a hallmark of gameplay. But I don't mind things being a little bit unbalanced if it means in the long run it's more fun. And I may be in the minority when I say this, but I'm a real big fan of the mechanics matching the lore of a game. So if the mechanics and resources in the game match the lore and there could still be a lot of fun to be had, like I'm more for that direction. Now it gets a lot more complicated when you're talking about PvP scenarios, and this may not be the best example, but I'm going to use it as an example for the time being at least, right? So Dark Souls, right? the way they are in the lore is the other players represent fucking nightmarish phantoms that are invading your reality to fucking destroy you and ruin you and drive you further towards hollowing. So I saw a lot of players on the Reddit when those games were initially released like, oh, it's not fair, this build is not fair, I'm getting destroyed by these phantoms and shit. And I'm like, well, dude, that's what they're supposed to be. And the way I looked at them was, they're just, you could look at them as bosses. Like, what if they were AI controlled? Would there be as many complaints? I would say, I would wager no, but because it's there, those phantoms were controlled by other players, there's more of this psychological effect. Like, instead of AI that beat me down, it's another player. And it hurts more when another player beat me down. Now, I'm not going to say that's true across the board. That's pure conjecture. That's pure speculation. I have nothing to back it up. But that's why I lean more towards asymmetrical gameplay. I want to see if I missed anything in your question here. Do you feel that balance can be achieved? Or do you think that systems are... I mean, balance could definitely be achieved, right? I think for any game... Well, virtually any game. There could be a sense of balance that is achieved. It's just is a perfectly even keel balance the best for the game, and I don't know. Again, that really depends on the game. Oh, about to die. Like in Warframe, since I'm playing Warframe, there are definitely some frames that are better than others in given mission types. And sometimes that comes across as really like kind of lame, especially when we're talking boss battles, because some frames are rendered to the point of not being like viable at all. And I think that's a design mistake. But then again, I still kind of stand by what I said before about lore, mechanics, excuse me, matching lore. So looks like I'm at a bit of an impasse with what I said. It seems what I'm saying is actually contradicting itself. So it's kind of hard to actually flesh out a little bit. Flight teleportation. I think I covered a breadth of that. But flight teleportation, environmental manipulations. Oh shit! My mouse died again. I think I'm actually going off screen or outside the screen of the game. I think that's what's actually happening. Well, I'm still gonna do that tip you recommended. Like, for example, one of the best fights in this game are called Eidolons, right? There's some frames that really excel at it, and there are some frames that, like, it's like, why even bother using them? Like, why even bother? You will get fucking crushed. It will take you so, like, it really is a question of why even bother. But since this game, a big part of this game is customization through personalization, like, of your Warframe, of your weapons, of your mods. If you actually like a game, like to play Warframe because you identify with a specific Warframe, and that's your favorite Warframe, and then you want to go fight Eidolons, well then their design is like, well, hey, fuck you. Use one of the meta frames for this, or you're not going to do shit. So, it's tricky. The next lens of flow. First question from this lens. Does the game have clear goals? If not, what's the fix? I had to use some shorthands on these lenses to make them fit in the display area on the screen. That's why it's like, if not fix, it's like, if not, then how to fix it, you know? Alright, so this game, it really stems from its poor new user experience. This game does not have clear goals. And that is both a bad thing and a good thing. Let's start with the good thing, right? Now, this game's setting, it's supposed to be in our solar system in the near future. Not the near future, the far, far, far fucking flung future. I couldn't be more wrong. The far, far flung future. And if your game is supposed to represent like a solar system, then it should be like big and full of mysteries, and not everything should be explained, right? So, not having clear goals for every little system and relationship and affordance in this game, I think it's good for the setting. I think it's fantastic. But just some basic goals to get the player going, like, that's where the new user experience comes in. And it's okay, like I said, it's okay if this solar system game, or this game that's supposed to be representing this big vast solar system that you're supposed to be exploring and finding out all this, you know, cool shit, it's good it doesn't have everything explained, because it shouldn't. But for a new player starting out, or even a mid-level player, like a mid-range player, if that's what you want to call him, like at a certain point you have to make your own goals, and that could be a little daunting, like an artist that really wants to paint something but they sit down at a blank canvas and they don't know what to do. But if someone tells them what to paint, then they have something to anchor themselves, to move themselves forward onto the canvas. And I think Warframe has that blank canvas situation, in addition to where the fuck do I even find the paintbrushes to paint on this canvas. So its clear goal problems it's compounded by both those factors. Next question: are the players' goals the same goals as intended? It's funny. As soon as I say that, I get fucking slaughtered. That I don't know. That I do not know. That would have to be something that is answered by DE. Me personally, no idea. Now I could speculate, of course, because that's what I do all the time anyway. I would say sort of, based on how extreme the feedback is from the community sometimes about some things. IPS rework being one of them. Somewhat. It's somewhat. That's the best I could say. Lee AF on Twitch says, Dark Souls had wildly unclear goals, and it was a masterpiece, in part because of that. No game mechanic is good or bad. What is good or bad is how it is used. To continue your painting metaphor, it's like saying that use of shading is terrible. No, some people use it badly. Yeah, that's a direct counter-argument to that, what I just said. Because part of the allure of Dark Souls was its mystery. That you were in this ancient, decaying kingdom, and what you found, you know, has been left in the ruins waiting to be discovered again by you, the chosen undead. Or Vendrick's Kingdom, or depending what Souls game you're playing, but the premise is still the same. At the same time, though, while that definitely does serve like a good narrative bent, like when I was playing Dark Souls for the first time, it's when I was deployed in Afghanistan. And I would have no idea how to upgrade those weapons or to find the blacksmiths or whatever if I did not have internet access to find out what the fuck was going on. And you could argue, and it could be argued rather, that I didn't necessarily need to, but they sure helped. But the argument of that mystery and the lack of goals, it's one of the things that made Dark Souls Dark Souls. So I both agree with you and disagree with you in some respects, but I agree with you more than I disagree because of Dark Souls. Because I can't really deny what you said. Like, I can't. As a Dark Souls fan, as someone who loves that game, like, I could play Devil's Advocate, but I just don't wanna. I just don't wanna. So I'm not. Lee AF on Twitch says, I mean, the first one, it was like, ring the bells, I guess? Yeah, right? I guess. That is so fucking true. Like, I guess I go here? Hey, Lee AF, I don't know if you've ever watched Angry Video Game Nerd. If so, have you ever seen his review of Castlevania 2? Because if you have, it has a perfect example of what we're talking about here. Oh, we're actually out of goals right now. We're on to the next lens. Holy shit. Time is flying when you flap your gums to no limit. Oh my god. Yeah, my friend actually introduced that to me like a decade ago. Whenever it first aired, he's like, you gotta watch this. And I started watching it, and I was fucking dying. I don't watch him that much anymore, but all right, where'd all the enemies go? Oh, you're just right here? You're at 70? Don't tell me these motherfuckers are taking up the spawns. Ah, obliterated. Holy crap! This video is 13 years old. It isn't even in widescreen. Yeah, it's an oldie, man. I guess you haven't seen it before. I'm not saying you have to watch it, but if you did watch it, there's a perfect example of like game progression necessary goals being just too obscured. Like just fucking too obscure. Like what the fuck were you thinking? Alright, where's my cat at? First of all. Right there actually? Okay. While you're watching that, I assume you're watching it. I'll talk about the next lens here, and it's a lens of chance. Why I actually try to take out these fucking Alright, lens of chance. First question is, what in-game is random? What feels random? All the fucking drops. All the drops. Wait, I can't take... Alright, capture fugitive. Lee AF on Twitch. Nope, I have not. It's probably pretty good. Plus, I own Simon's Quest and never got past like the first boss because I was a kid and it was way too hard for a 6-year-old. Yeah. Got that shit right. Alright, still got the beacons going, thank God. Yeah, I think these guys are fucking with my spawns. Hey, where are you, guy? Where are you? Look at you camping. You think you're safe back here? Nope. Get out of here. So yeah, what in game is random? What feels random? All the drops are random and they all feel random. So if that was D's intent, they fucking nailed it. Like all the... Not all the weapons, not all the gear is random, but all the drops. I think by the definition of being a drop, it has to be, it has some kind of RNG, but not necessarily, so. Does RNG give players excitement challenge? Sometimes. Sometimes. When it's too low, though, I think the YouTuber that covers let me remember how to talk. The YouTuber named Brozyme that covers Warframe. He actually covered this the best in his recent video where he was talking about how he got burnt out on Warframe, farming arbitrations, wherein he finally got the drop. They had like a 2% chance after farming the same mission for like 16 hours. He said that when it finally dropped, it didn't feel like an accomplishment. It felt like a relief. Like he was finally able to stop playing that mission. So, yeah, like, and again, it gets really tricky when you're talking about a free-to-play game because this is their bread and butter. It's how they make money and keep the lights on. So, that's why I'm kind of reluctant to speak about it in detail because I think, if anything, I'll just reveal my ignorance on that particular subject. What the hell? Oh yeah, I didn't read the second part of that question. Does RNG give players excitement challenge sometimes, or does it also give hopelessness, lack of control? There's a bit of both. I would say as a metric, the game success that's been around for 6 years, I would say that it gives more of a feeling of excitement and challenge. But there's definitely some drop rates that give like hopelessness, lack of control. Lee AF on Twitch says, I haven't really found a free-to-play game I liked yet. Well, except any never profit games. Yeah, there are those. Most free-to-play feels like scams to me, and it ruins it. Well, I don't know if this game looks like it might be your cup of tea just from the core combat loop, but they have a really a really fair free-to-play economy. And most of the obtuseness comes from the very poor user experience. But if you know someone that was like, cough cough, playing this game for over 6,000 hours and knows exactly where to get stuff and the best way to get it, and can help you farm that stuff, you could bypass a vast majority of ever even wanting to pay for stuff. But for new players coming to this game, it is such a fucking brick wall of confusion. It's such a labyrinth. It's like, you know what, I can get this for free, but I don't have the 20 hours to go read Wikipedia. You know what I mean? Because even if I did help you with this game, like help boost you and shit, you're still gonna be on that wiki. Like, if you're a Warframe player, there's an unwritten rule that you will be spending at least 30% of your Warframe time on the fucking wiki. Until you get to a certain point, and then it's only gonna be like 10%. But you will be on that wiki. You will be on the wiki. Like, for example, when I got my PlayStation 4 a few years ago, I've already been playing Warframe on the PC for, I'd say a year and a half, or at least a year. And when I started playing on PS4, I did it just for fun, not that I needed to, or because I already had an account on the PC. But just based off all the knowledge I gained from the PC version, I was able to quote unquote make a few end game builds without spending a fucking dollar. And there was nothing in that game I couldn't reach, or beat, or challenge, or kill, or whatever. Just based off all the knowledge I gained from playing the PC for so long. Alright, it looks like you typed something else. Let me get to it here. Let me lay down the Strangle Dome first. Lee AF on Twitch says, I hear you. These don't sound like positive selling points. Yeah, I'm just being honest with you, man. Like I said, the new user experience is fucking awful. But the actual grind of things, it's really not that bad. It's really not. But then again, like, the main thing is, if you don't like the way that the core combat loop looks, like if you don't like doing parkour and potentially getting an operator that could transport it out of your Warframe like this, like way up into the sky, and then get out of your Warframe and then come slamming back down like that. Like, if that doesn't look fun to you, then it doesn't matter how fair the free-to-play economy is. Like, you won't like it. You know what I mean? I wish wall attacks were useful in this game. Really, really do. Elite AF says, oh, I see. Yeah, it's definitely not for everybody, man. But I definitely enjoy it. But if you ever do decide to give it a chance, definitely get it for the PC. Because one of the main differences between PC and console versions of this game is the premium currency in this game is called Platinum. And that's another thing. There's a market in this game, and you could farm things called prime parts and sell them for plat. So if there's something that you want that can only obtain through plat, you can get it. You just have to farm for the parts to sell for plat. There was one time in the game where I had accumulated so much. This was a couple years ago, right? But I needed something that cost 300 plat, and at the time I had 5 plat. And I looked at everything I've acquired over time, and I went on the market, and I went up from 5 plat, and I bought parts, sold them, bought them, sold them, kept hustling, and I worked my way up to 3 plat, and I was on the PlayStation 4. But what I was saying, yeah, you want to buy it on the PC, or get it for the PC, because they have plat discount login rewards. And if you buy one package of 4,000 plat at 75 discount, it costs about $50, and you get 4,000 plat. And with that, you could buy like just anything you want in the fucking game. And for $50 at a 75% discount, when it comes to $50, like, you don't really have to farm for fucking anything. And that's what I did. But again, you don't have to. Elite AF on Twitch says, I can get that. It just doesn't click for me, which is kind of weird because you're seeing my weapon class in Monster Hunter, the acrobat, jumpy, flying around one. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you, man. That's kind of like when I started watching your Monster Hunter streams. I was like, oh wow, because it was like the most Warframe-like, you know. So I would not be playing this game if it didn't have such incredible movement. Like, I just would not be playing. If this is like Destiny, right? Like, this is my movement. Like, hey, I'm running. I could jump. Oh, and I could. Oh, that was a bad example because I got blasted into the air there. But yeah, I could jump, and then I could double jump, and then I could roll. If that was it, if it was Destiny mode, I would not be playing this fucking game. Like, not even one little bit. I just don't even care. I just don't even care, you know? But it's the movement of this game. That's what drove me in. It hooked me. It hooked me, Elite. Hooked me. Hook, line, and sinker. In case you're wondering, that's I have like 2 pet cats. This is kind of like the Beastmaster Warframe, loosely speaking. Sort of. She's like the SNM Beastmaster frame. I don't know how else to describe her. All right. Oh, we got a new quote here. I gotta think of like I guess I could just keep calling quotes. Yeah, but this one is from Mark Rosewater, the lead designer, or one of the lead designers for Magic the Gathering. Let me get to what Lee AF said first, though. Viewers take priority. Lee AF Gaming Facepalm. I'm so dumb, I finally figured out what exactly it is I like and dislike, why more modern action games have lost me. They're too fast for me. That's why Dark Souls and Monster Hunter are more my field. I can't believe it took me so long to figure that out. Hey, man. We all don't bat a thousand on the first time out. Dude, if you want to see fast, one time, if you want, well, maybe I can do it tonight. This game has a PvP mode, and you think this is fucking fast. Oh my god. It's not that the Warframes are faster in PvP, it's just my slowness. It comes into full view. Damn. Yeah, not doing too hot solo mode. Yeah, but I get fucking eviscerated in its PvP mode. Now, part of that is I've always been bad aimer. Not the fastest on the draw. But it also has to do with the people that play the PvP mode. Tend to be the people that have been playing it for years, because the PvP mode in this game is not popular because I think for the most part it's too fast for a lot of players. Like, you think that I'm moving around a lot, like, in the PvE mode, man? Like, you haven't seen anything. Like, the people that play this PvP mode in this game are fucking ridiculous. And that's not hating on them. I have a lot of respect for them, but they are fucking ridiculous. They make me look like a statue. Even though I'm, like, doing this all parkour acrobatic shit, what I'm doing right now, they make me look like a fucking statue. It's absolutely insane. Whew. Anyway, this is from Mark Rosewater, and he says, if everyone likes your game, but no one loves it, it will fail. And if you ever heard the saying, if you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one, I think that's very analogous to this design quote from Mark Rosewater. And I think that goes to say, like, when you make games or design something, or at least in Warframe's case, they went for their own aesthetic. Every publisher turned them down in the beginning because its aesthetic was, like, totally alien to a lot of them. No pun intended. So they made a game that they knew some people would love. At least that they made a game they would love, and they ended up creating an audience that loved that game. But if they went for, like, some more generic type of aesthetic and setting to try to please a broad swath of people, maybe it would have been successful, maybe not. Because you look at a game like Call of Duty or Fortnite, like, because even though, like, you want to make something that people are passionate about, you can't totally dismiss, like, accessibility, especially when it comes to, like, you know, putting food on the table. So it's a careful line that's like a case-by-case basis here. Lee AF on Twitch says, I doubt it. I don't doubt it. I've seen pro level play. Yeah, top tier play gets crazy. Yeah, it's like, and since the PvP isn't that popular in Warframe, they play each other most of the time. So when I walk in there, I might as well be a fucking naked baby shitting itself. Like, I'm not even joking you. Like, wah, look at me. I just poopied. Wah. And while I'm sitting there pooping myself, like, they fly by me, do an aerial attack, like, slice off my diapers, and now I am the naked baby. And they're like, you know what? I see you got candy. Give me that candy. Give me that fucking candy. That's what I feel like in there. I was actually going to play it tonight, and I was like, you know what? Let me get some Torroids instead. Let me farm Orb Vallis instead of getting butchered. I might have a little bit more fun. There it is. This is me in PvP. And the person aiming, this is a Conclave player. This is me, though. This is how I look like in Conclave. Just a fucking motionless body on the floor getting shot. This is a really good analogy. That is fucking me. Whew. Lee AF on Twitch said, you should do that in a match. Whine about your poopy diapers aloud. Maybe you could get them to lose their shit so you could win. Maybe I will, dude. Wah! Don't shoot at me, it's not fair. Wah! I just poopied in my diaper. Wah! I might, actually. I hope I don't get banned, or though. Not from the game, but the PvP, since it's so small, the PvP community is kind of like close-knit. I don't want them to like actually take me seriously. Like, you know what? Fuck this Lihim guy. Let's get him banned. But I'm tempted to. I don't think I would. But you never know. It'd be pretty funny though. It really would be. Lee AF. Oh, I'm not even reviving my cat. Lee AF on Twitch says, what are they going to ban you for? Making jokes and say you have poopy diaper? Please. It really depends who's there. How sensitive the players are. There's a lot of sensitive players in Warframe. I'm not going to say every player, because that would definitely be erroneous. That would definitely be a fallacy. But I tend to run into a lot of sensitive players. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying, in my experience, that's what I tend to run into a lot. Lee AF on Twitch says, the tactics is to get your opponents to laugh so hard they can't play. Not exactly a violation of the terms of service. Like, for example, in PvP, you can... I'm going to give you where I'm coming from. I'm going to paint the picture. So in PvP, you can gain standing, right, in the PvP faction called Conclave. And you get standing by, you know, participating in PvP matches and defeating other players. Like, okay, so far so good. What's wrong with that, right? Well, some players, you know, they just wanted the drops and rewards you could get from PvP, but they didn't actually want to fight other players. So they would create, like, their own match, right? It'd be empty with just them playing. And they'd be killing each other for standing. Not, like, trying to fight each other, but, like, hey, I'll kill you 20 times, the match will end. Then you kill me 20 times, the match will end. And, all, like, serious hardcore PvP players have, like, wandered into matches where that's going on. And reported those players farming each other for standing. And those players have been banned in some cases. Just for doing that. So if I ran into that type of player that had maybe some pull with DE, I might get banned. I don't think I would. But I would be just a little bit apprehensive about doing it. But do I think I would? No. But if I ran into the whoever person got people farming each other for standing bans and they didn't like my sense of humor, it's a possibility. Now if it was PvE like I am here, I don't think I'd run into a player like that. And I think that's just more of a numbers thing, you know? The chance of me running into that type of player here in PvE where it's drastically, grossly more populated than PvP. My chances of running into any single type of player, it's just not that great, you know? Oh, you're taking some beatings here. Yeah, it's not ranking up as fast. No, that much. Yeah, I need to start using this whip more. Alright. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about like this principle from Mark Rosewater is like, yeah, DE definitely made a game that they fucking love. They stuck by their design principles. I know they compromised with an earlier version of quote unquote an earlier version of Warframe called Dark Sector, where that's basically what was left of Warframe after whoever was paying to publish that game. After it was left of it, and it turned into like kind of like this third-person cover-based shooter. It's actually alright, and its narrative implications are fucking huge for this game. But after that, they made a couple games, and on their last bit of resources, they decided to go full balls to the wall and made a game they loved. And that turned out to be a game that other people loved. And that passion is what found them success, you know? Alright, I'm wondering if I should stay or go here. They don't seem to be leveling as fast here. I still got the 4 beacons going, they're just not leveling that fast. Elite AF at gaming. Alright, I'm gonna go play some games myself. I'll catch you later, friends. Hit me up later about that campfire and beer night. Yeah, you got it, man. Thanks for stopping by. I provided some scintillating conversation. I definitely appreciate it, bud. I hope to see you streaming soon. But yeah, take care, man. I'll definitely hit you up. Bonfire. All right. Yeah, they're not leveling as fast here. Lee AF on Twitch says cheers. Cheers, matey. Cheers. I don't know if that's from Australia or whatever fucking accent I'm trying to do. I'm terrible at accents. Definitely one of those don't quit your day job type of things. Whipping the shit out of that thing. It's actually not damaging the beacon. I guess that's kind of cool, no? Why am I not damaging that guy? I'm actually not getting a lot of drops either. Oh wow, I actually got a toxic Ectimus Corpus. Holy shit. Don't see those a lot. It's actually so long since I've seen one, I didn't even know if I ever saw one to begin with. I know against Infested you run across them like constantly, but I was like, hey, I'll be alright with the magnetic arcanes. Excuse me, because it's not like I'm gonna run against a toxic Ectimus Corpus, and there we are. That guy looked like he was having a fucking party, man. Like right here. Looked like he was partying. Only I can miss a guy that is hanging from a fucking dome, defenseless. To actually take my own advice, I was sticking next to the wall there. Caused him to spawn there. Oh, about to die. Alright, did Venari just save my life there? Yeah. So I got to kill enemies that cause a cooldown timer to reduce here. Oh shit. I was wondering how I kept dying through her shield, her lifeline, but I was not. I was dying in between the cooldown periods, that's why. Or maybe when she was dying. If I didn't roll right there, I would have been dead. Holy shit. Alright, It looks like my cat is getting one-shotted all the time though. Oh. Yeah, I might want to get out of here actually. I don't want to lose the few Torroids I got. Come on, Keiichi. Come on, Keiichi. Alright. I'm gonna get back to Fortuna before he dies. Where is it? Wrong button. Oh. Oh. Kind of the way I was running from. I might as well kill these guys, right? Death from above. Death from above. Wow, did they actually die from that slam attack? All three of them. Okay.
You don't fuck with
It's one of the rare times they spawn, like, maybe in a plausible place they would actually be, like, kind of minding their own business in the mountains here. Instead of in the middle of whatever the fucking missions we normally play. But they still died. I still gave it to them. I couldn't help it. Oh, Kate Shid's about to die. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I might lose some health with her. Oh, it's at 1 second. Oh, close. How many Torroids I get? 8. Oh, that's so bad. That is so bad. Let me turn down this music just a little bit. Alright. So now I gotta ask myself if I want to do another Orb Vallis Survival. And I don't know if I do. I don't know. I got a fair amount of Torroids tonight, and now it seems, now that I know it stops at level 125, and I did a good farm from before, and I'm already maxed at today's standing, I might call it quits for tonight. Let me just bring up OBS. I think I'm gonna chat. Oh, not chat. I'm gonna switch to the chat screen here. I like to try to close out on this. Alright, yeah, I don't mentioned before, when I do my streams, I give them a thumbnail and I title them for a specific thing that I'm doing for that stream. So if I was to go fuck around in Warframe right now doing something else that kind of go against what I normally do, and I kind of want them to remain the same way I've been doing, at least until some metrics point towards maybe that's not such a good idea. But I barely have any metrics as it is, so I'm just going to stick with what I've been doing. Trying to think if there's anything else here that's worth a damn. Orb Vallis Survival is pretty much Torroid for me. I could get a group together. But I know, I kind of want to go spend time with the, well, the baby's asleep. The partner. The living partner. Alright, we're going to alt-tab here. Yeah, and this song is a nice song to peace out on. So, if you come across this stream, you come across this on YouTube, Mixer, or Twitch, I thank you so much for actually taking your time out of your night or day, wherever you may find yourself when you watch this, to actually watch my little attempt at entertainment here. I do appreciate it. Feel free to follow me on some social media. My name is Lihim, she on everything, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Steam, on PSN, on DeviantArt. Fuck. I'm surprised if Engage was still around, I'd be Lihim Shi on there. Like, I'm not even joking. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a quit for tonight with Orb Vallis Survival. Let me just move this over here. But I do want to give a shout out before I go to a couple people here. First and foremost, we want to give a shout out to Homicidal Thor. He was courteous enough to respond to my request for endurance run players for Orb Vallis Survival mode in region chat. And he was actually a pretty cool dude and likes a lot of cool games. So big shout out to him. I'm going to give another shout out to ICJ Plays, who stops by often, and I do appreciate his company. However, he wants to play together on Division, and every time I'm free to play a game with him, he vanishes. So he's very mysterious, but I'm going to give him a shout out. Who else is up here? I believe Pavlov, but I have to look for his actual literal name. Let me find it. It's like Pavlov 552, I think? Something like that. Where is he at? Where is he at? Pavlov 1552. I do appreciate him stopping by and actually sharing some tips that, you know, the Orb Vallis mobs via the beacons, they actually stop leveling after so long. I have no fucking idea why, but that is some bullshit. Like, why? Why would they stop leveling at a certain time? A certain level. What's that gonna harm? And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all who stopped by. Oh yeah, and Elite AF Gaming. If you are watching this, anyone, if you like Monster Hunter, please go check him out on Twitch. He does a good job at streaming Monster Hunter. May join him after I get a lot of my online trophies for the games I'm playing knocked out. But be sure to check him out if you do like Monster Hunter. And he's a cool, intelligent ass dude. So yeah. Well, other than that, I got my callouts done. I got my housekeeping done. I got my Orb Vallis Survival done. And this is a good outro song. So to anyone that's watching, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And hopefully I'll see you sometime in the future. Until then, this is Lihim Shi. I'm signing out. Peace. I actually did this. I should actually do that. Peace, right? I need to work on my intros and outros.